How's it going, my early learners? It's Miss Nina here with another project with our insect unit. So you guys have been learning all about insects with me and Miss T in science. And earlier today, you guys have made Kool-Aid Play-Doh with Miss T. So if you haven't done that video yet, go ahead and check it out so you can get ready for this video, because we're gonna be making insects out of our Play-Doh. I'm gonna be teaching you some really fun hand building skills. So let's get started. I've got my Kool-Aid Play-Doh here. I didn't use Kool-Aid, so mine isn't scented like yours might be, but it's still nice and squishy. So the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna peel off some of that Play-Doh and we're gonna roll it in a ball. This is really important when you're working with clay, and in the future, we're gonna be doing lots of projects that start out by rolling a ball. So you can either roll the ball like this in your palms, or you can roll it on the table like this, and it becomes a nice even circle. If you see any pieces that are kind of sticking out, then you can put a little more pressure down when you're moving that ball around on the table, or you can squeeze your hands together just a little bit more to make that ball into the right shape. So if we're making an insect, we're gonna need 3 of these round shapes. Remember, the body parts of the insect are the head, the thorax, and the abdomen, just like in the song Miss T and I taught you. So if I've got this first ball here, then it can be the head of the insect. Now I need to make another ball that's a little bit bigger than the head, and that can be the thorax. So again, I'm rolling that ball together. It helps sometimes if you squeeze it in your hand just a little bit. I'm rolling it in my palms. And once it becomes a ball like this, or a sphere, you can actually flatten it just a little bit by rolling it back and forth with your fingers until it becomes more of an oval shape. Do you see how this one is a circle and this one's a little bit more of an oval? Rolling it back and forth like that is called rolling a coil. So there we go, we've made our thorax. We can kind of push these 2 pieces together. Next, we need to make the abdomen. That one's even bigger than the head and the thorax. So grab a few more pieces of clay. Make sure it's a little bit more than these 2. You can always add more or take some out if it ends up being too big. I'm gonna roll it into a ball in my palms again, or I'm gonna roll it into a ball on the table like this. But we need it to be an oval also. So I'm going to roll it back and forth now to like a coil. Some people also call this rolling a snake. This is super important when you're working with clay, because you can make lots of things out of these coils. So watch how I'm rolling my clay back and forth in my hands. I'm putting a little bit of pressure down, and if I want it to be longer, I can move my hands apart as I'm rolling it. Try that out and see if you can move your hands apart just a little bit as you're rolling it. I'm liking this size for my abdomen on my bug. You could even kind of shape it a little bit more if you wanted it to be thicker. So I've got my head, my thorax, and my abdomen. Next, I want to make the 2 antennas. You don't need a lot of clay for this part, or Play-Doh, but you are going to roll it again. So I'm rolling it back and forth, and watch how my hands move away from each other as they're rolling out that coil. Now, can you see how this part is skinny and this part is thick? We need to even that out. So I'll put some more pressure right here on the thick part, and maybe right here, this part looks a little thick to me too. So I'll roll this part out also. This is looking like it's gonna be a really long antenna. Look at this coil that I'm rolling out, boys and girls. It has gotten so long. So actually, I can chop this in half. I'll pull it apart, and I can have my 2 antennas ready to go. Let's move him down so that you guys can see. And maybe I could curl those antennas just like in the drawing. Curling those up like that. I think this is looking super cute. Do you guys remember how many legs an insect has? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They have 6 legs, 3 on one side and 3 on the other. So let's roll some more coils. Remember, if you roll a really long coil, you can break it apart and make more than one leg. They do not need to be as long as the antennas, so don't worry about that. I'm putting some pressure down, some gentle pressure down on my clay as I'm rolling my coil, and my hands are slowly moving apart from each other. That's what makes that coil longer. Can you guys try practicing that? It is so much fun. Remember, if some parts of your coil are a little bit thicker than others, you can focus on just that part of the coil to try and even it out. It's okay if your coil breaks while you're rolling it around. That can be one of the legs for you to use. Don't worry about it. So I'm gonna chop this coil in half and let's see how many legs I can get out of it. 1, 2, 3 legs on this side. How many legs do I need on the other side to get 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here's number 4. I need to make 2 more legs to finish this insect. Let's see if I can make it with one coil. Rolling back and forth, moving my hands apart from one another. And I'm putting pressure on the parts that are a little too thick. I think that definitely looks like 2 legs. Let's see, 4, 5, 6. This one's a little long, so I might chop it off just a little bit. There we go. I've got my little insect clay animal. We are using this clay that's Kool-Aid Play-Doh, so it does dry if you leave it out and you want to save your insect. You could even take a pencil or a fork and add some details and maybe draw some stripes in your insect or add some eyes if you'd like to. Or if you want to just use this as practice, you can always crumple it back up and it saves really nicely in Tupperware. So have fun with your Kool-Aid Play-Doh, have fun making your Kool-Aid insects too, and I hope to see you guys soon. Bye.